How's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video in data structure series. In our last videos we have learned how we can perform insertion and deletion on singly linked list. In this video we will learn how we can perform insertion on doubly linked list. So let's say we have a doubly linked list. We can insert a node at the first position of the linked list, or we can insert in the middle of the linked list, or we can insert at the last position of the linked list. We will see how to insert at all these three positions one by one. First, let us understand how we can insert an element at the first position of doubly linked list. So we have this linked list and we have to insert an element x at the first position of this linked list. So first we create a new node in which we store this element x. Now we have to insert this new node at the first position. To insert this new node at the first position, the head pointer should point to this new node and the previous pointer of the first node, which later will become the second node, should point to the new node, and the next pointer of this new node should point to the first node. And as the new node will become the first node, therefore in the previous pointer of this new node, null will be stored. So now let us look at this algorithm. So first we assign the address of the head node to the next pointer of the new node. In this way, the next pointer of the new node now points to the first node of the linked list. In the next step, we assign the address of the new node to the previous pointer of the first node. So now the previous pointer of the first node points to the new node. Finally, in the last step, we override the address stored in the head pointer with the address of the new node. Now the head pointer points to the new node of the linked list and its link with the first node breaks. In this way, we have inserted this new node at the first position of this linked list, and the former first node becomes the second node of the linked list. This algorithm takes constant time. Now let's see how we can insert an element in the middle of a doubly linked list. Again we have this linked list and let's say this time we have to insert this element x at the third position of this linked list. So first we will create a new node and we will store x in this new node. Now we have to insert this new node at the third position. To insert this node at the third position, the next pointer of second node and the previous pointer of the third node, which later will become the fourth node, should point to the new node, and the previous pointer of the new node should point to the second node, and the next pointer of this new node should point to the third node. In this way, new node will be inserted at the third position. So now let's look at its algorithm. So first we declare a count variable and we initialize it with integer 1. We will use this count variable to count the number of nodes we have traversed and to get the position of the current node. After this, we declare a current node pointer and we initialize it with the address of the head node. We use this current node pointer to traverse our linked list. To insert this new node at the third position, we need to have the address of the second node. So to get the address of the node after which insertion has to be performed, we use a while loop. This while loop runs until count is equals to position minus 1. So here in this example, this while loop would run until count is equals to 2. In this while loop, we move to the next node by assigning the address stored in the next pointer of the current node back to the current node. And as we move to the next node, we increase count by 1. So when this while loop terminates, we have the address of the node after which insertion has to be performed stored in the current node pointer. So here in this example, the address of the second node will be stored in the current node pointer. After this, we assign the address stored in the next pointer of the current node to the next pointer of the new node. So in this example, the address of the third node is stored in the next pointer of the current node, that's the second node. So we will assign this address to the next pointer of the new node. In this way, the next pointer of this new node points to the third node. Next, we store the address of the current node in the previous pointer of the new node. So here we will store the address of the second node in the previous pointer of the new node. Now the previous pointer of this new node points to the second node of this linked list. Next, we store the address of the new node in the next pointer of the current node. In this way, the link between second node and the third node breaks and the next pointer of this second node now points to the new node. Finally, in the last step, we store the address of the new node in the previous pointer of the node whose address is stored in the next pointer of the new node. Here, we are accessing the elements of the node whose address is stored in the next pointer of the new node. This is called cascading. So in this example, the address of the third node is stored in the next pointer of the new node. So we store the address of the new node in the previous pointer of the third node. In this way, the link between the second node and the third node breaks, and the previous pointer of the third node now points to the new node. So now we have inserted new node at the third position of this linked list, and the former third node becomes the fourth node. This is how we can insert an element in the middle of a linked list. The time complexity of this algorithm is theta of n. Finally, let's see how we can insert an element at the last position of a doubly linked list. So we have this linked list, and let's say we have to insert x at the last position of this linked list. That means we have to insert at the fourth position. So first we will create a new node and we will store x in this new node. Now we have to insert new node at the last position or the fourth position. To insert this new node, the address of this new node should be stored in the next pointer of the last node, which is the third node. And the address of the third node will be stored in the previous pointer of the new node. And as new node will become the last node of this linked list, therefore in the next pointer of this new node, null must be stored. So now let's look at its algorithm. First we declare the count variable and the current node pointer. Then we use the while loop to traverse to the node after which insertion has to be performed. So here we will traverse to the third node, and when this while loop terminates, the address of the third node is stored in the current node pointer. So in the next step, we assign the address stored in the next pointer of the current node to the next pointer of the new node. As third node is the current node and it is also the last node. So in the next pointer of the third node, null is stored. Therefore, we will assign null to the next pointer of the new node as well. Next, we assign the address of the current node to the previous pointer of the new node. So in this example, we will assign the address of the third node to the previous pointer of the new node. So now the previous pointer of new node points to the third node of this linked list. Finally, in the last step, we store the address of the new node in the next pointer of the current node. So in this example, we will store the address of the new node in the next pointer of the third node. So now the next pointer of the third node points to the new node. So in this way, we have inserted new node at the fourth position and it becomes the new last node of the linked list. The time complexity of this algorithm is also theta of n. Now you might have noticed one thing, that this algorithm is very similar to the algorithm which we have discussed for insertion in the middle of a doubly linked list. The only difference is that as we are inserting the new node at the last position, so there is no node after the new node. Therefore, we cannot store the address of the new node in the previous pointer of any node. So in this algorithm, we do not have the step in which we were storing the address of the new node in the previous pointer of the node which comes after the new node. Now let's see how we can implement this operation in C and C++. To learn the implementation of this operation in C and C++, we use the same program which we have discussed in a video on doubly linked list. We have added only one function in this program and we will discuss only that function. So for detailed explanation of this program, check out a video on doubly linked list. So in this program, first we declared the node class. We use this node class to create new nodes for the linked list. In C, we use structures instead of classes. After this, we have declared the head pointer, and then we have the createList function. We use this createList function to add nodes in our linked list initially. After this, we have the insert element function. We will use this function to insert nodes in our linked list. In this function, we pass the data which we want to insert and the position at which we want to insert. So in this function, first we create a new node in which we store the data and we initialize the next and the previous pointers of this new node with null. In C, we will use malloc to allocate memory for the new node. After this, we declare the current node pointer and we initialize it with the address of the head node. And we also declare the count variable. Now we check if we have to insert at the first position. If we have to insert at the first position, then we will use the first algorithm. And using the first algorithm, we first store the address of the head node in the next pointer of the new node. Then we assign the address of the new node to the previous pointer of the head node. And finally, we override the address stored in the head pointer with the address of the new node. In this way, new node is inserted at the first position of the linked list. And after this, we return. Now let's say if we have to insert at some other position than 1. Then we will use the second and the third algorithms. Now remember one thing, that the second and the third algorithm which we have just discussed are very similar. Only difference is that in second algorithm we have one step extra. So we will combine both of these algorithms in this program. To insert the node, we traverse to the node after which insertion has to be performed. And for that we use a while loop. This while loop terminates when count is equals to position minus 1. Here we have added one more condition, that current node is not equals to null. This condition is added because if the user asks us to insert a node at some position which does not exist in our linked list and the while loop tries to move to the next node after reaching the last node, this condition will terminate the while loop. So when this while loop terminates, we have the address of the node after which insertion has to be performed. Next we assign the address stored in the next pointer of the current node to the next pointer of the new node. We assign the address of the new node to the next pointer of the current node. After this, we store the address of the current node in the previous pointer of the new node. Now here comes the difference in both of the algorithms. So if we have to insert the new node in the middle of the linked list, then we have to store the address of the new node in the node before which insertion is being performed. But if we are inserting at the last node, we do not have to perform this step. So we check if the address stored in the next pointer of the new node is equals to null. So if the address stored in the next pointer of the new node is not equals to null, then it means that we are inserting in the middle of the linked list. So we store the address of the new node in the previous pointer of the node whose address is stored in the next pointer of the new node. So this is how we can insert nodes in a doubly linked list. After this, we have the printlist function. We use this function to print out our doubly linked list. Then we also have the backwards list function. We use this function to print out a linked list in reverse. Now one thing here to note is that this function does not reverses the list. It only prints the list in the reverse direction. Then we have the main function. In this main function, first we create a linked list according to user. Then we have the while loop which runs infinitely. In this while loop, we ask the user to enter 1 if he wants to insert a node, else he can press 0 to quit. We scan the choice entered by the user and then we check if choice is equals to 1. So if choice is equals to 1, then we ask the user to enter the element and the position at which he wants to insert that element. We scan the element and the position entered by the user in the variables ELE and POS respectively. And then we pass these variables in the insert element function so that the element can be inserted at the desired position. And then we print out our linked list. Now if user enters some other choice than 1, then this while loop terminates. And for the last time, we print out a linked list in forward as well as the reverse direction. Now let's run this program. So first, let's store 4 elements in a linked list. So we have to enter 1 to insert node. Let's store 64 at the first position of our linked list. So here we can see 64 has been inserted at the first position. Now let's again insert 100 at the fourth position. Again 100 has been inserted at the fourth position of our linked list. Now let's insert 99 at the 7th position. So here we can see that 99 has been inserted at the 7th position and this 7th position was the last position of our linked list. So we have verified all the 3 algorithms which we have just discussed. Finally, we can quit our program by entering 0. So this was the program to insert an element in doubly linked list. In our next video, we will learn how we can delete an element from a doubly linked list. And as always, you can find the source code to this program on our GitHub profile. Link is given in the description box. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for similar content.